Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Ask Coach Marie. I'm Marie O'Neill, founder of Padma Life Coaching, and your host on this series. This is the place where you ask a question and I give my unique opinion as a life renewal coach, astrologer, and past life regression facilitator. Please know that I'm not a therapist and I will never tell you what you must do. Each week on Friday, a new video is released with me answering 2 questions from the viewers. In addition to those 2 questions, I talk about various other life renewal topics. So let's go ahead and get started with the questions for this week. Our first question comes from Padma, who is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. She says, I take any form of criticism, even constructive feedback at work, incredibly personally. It makes me either shut down, get defensive, or replay it in my head for days. I know this isn't healthy or productive. How can I learn to receive feedback more objectively and use it for growth instead of letting it crush my confidence? That's a really good question, Padma. Feedback, depending on who gives it, can be crushing. And not only who gives it, but how it's given. One of the things that you can do is realize that we are all in school, every one of us. We're in school here on this earth plane. We're here to learn and grow and develop. Having compassion for self and having an understanding that this is why we're here, that goes a long way in helping all of us deal with criticism. Because I don't know anybody out here who doesn't have an issue with receiving criticism. Now, there's some criticism that is constructive, and then there's other criticism that isn't. And when I say it isn't, it's being given for the wrong reason. It's being given maybe because the person is jealous or they're having a bad day. It could be for a number of reasons. When you do get criticism, you want to analyze it. It's always a good idea to analyze it and see if it actually fits. Because people can give you criticism that they perceive as constructive and it just doesn't work for you because it's based on their value system and not your value system. So you want to look at that too. If the criticism is legit and it's something that you really do need to improve on, your view and how you see it is going to be the difference between whether you beat yourself up or not. And as I said, you have to see it as you're in school and you're learning. In addition to that, take it as you want to improve. You always want to get better. And if you can implement the criticism that you've received and it enhances your life and enhances how you perform, that's going to be of benefit to you. And if it's at work, to the job too, because I'm sure you want to do your best. You're being really, really hard on yourself. And this is something that a lot of people do. So as I said, have compassion for yourself, take a step back, breathe a bit, analyze the criticism, see if it fits with your value system, if it's true, basically. And if it's true, then go ahead and make the changes. The other thing that you want to do if you are going over and over and over this criticism every day for days, catch yourself as you're doing it and just say stop in your mind. Every time, or even out loud, every time you find yourself going over the criticism, if you've already analyzed it and you know what right action is based on the criticism, always say stop, just stop. Even if you have to say stop 100 times in 60 seconds, just don't allow your mind to linger on the criticism. that will also help. So please send me a comment and let me know how you're getting on, and let me know if this has helped you. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the topic for today. And the topic is cultivating self-compassion, which is your inner ally. When we have compassion for ourselves, and I'm not talking about false compassion, because there is false compassion. I'm talking about legitimate compassion, meaning we are practicing self-care. We know that we're not perfect, because there is no such thing as perfection. All we can do is our best. We know that we make mistakes. You own the mistake, you make corrections, and you move on, and you don't beat yourself up. This is what I mean by practicing self-compassion. There is that part of us, our internal part, that it never judges what we do, because everything is about learning and having experience. So a lot of times it's the ego that comes in and causes us to beat ourselves up because we want to be perfect. I mean, nobody wants to be judged. In addition to this, we have to build our self-confidence and strength in ourselves and in our abilities. And all of this goes into being compassionate for self. It is our inner ally. It helps us to move forward. It helps us to not freeze and stop and not move forward in life. Because as I said, we're all here to grow and develop. And there isn't anything else. We have relationships and with ourselves and with others. The self-talk that we give goes a long way also with developing self-compassion, because we want to tell ourselves the truth with compassion. And we want to make incremental improvements in our lives and expand our awareness and our consciousness slowly. I hope you find benefit in my talking about compassion. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the next question that is for this week. The next question comes from Leo, who is in Boston. Leo writes, I realize that I only feel really good about myself when I'm achieving things or getting external praise. If I have a setback or even just a quiet period without major accomplishment, my self-esteem plummets. How can I build a more stable and internal sense of self-worth that isn't so dependent on what I do or what others think? Really good question. Thank you for asking it. This is something that is learned by most people. There are some people who incarnate and they just have a natural ability to have self-worth and belief in themselves. And for others, I mean, myself included, it's something that you have to develop over time. This is about building self-esteem. That is a slow process. When you're building self-esteem, you want to look at what you've accomplished. And every time you accomplish something, you slowly build your self-worth and your value of how you see yourself. How you see yourself is, of course, going to be different than how others see you. And what you're saying is you want to develop your own self-esteem. What you want, as you have stated so eloquently, is that you want to feel good about yourself and have internal self-esteem rather than self-worth, rather than external. And this is fantastic, because in order for you to grow and develop your consciousness, you have to have self-esteem. If you can get to an astrologer and have an astrology reading about this, this will help. The reason that I'm saying this is because this issue could stem from something that you brought into this incarnation. And an astrologer can look at your chart and give you more insight on this. There's a particular area of your chart that is related to self-esteem and how you value yourself. And that's what you want to cultivate. So my recommendation is, of course, to get to an astrologer and have a reading. If you are not able to do that, or you choose not to, then you want to pay attention to how you feel, basically, when you're receiving praise and when you're not receiving praise. And you want to find out where that originates. Where does that feeling come from? Why it's there. You want to get to the root of it, because this is something that you need to heal internally. So it's going to take time to figure that out. All right. I hope that answers your question. Please drop a comment below in the comment section and let me know what you think. If you would like to learn more about the services I offer, please check out my website, padmalifecoaching.com. On there, you will find information about life coaching, astrology, and past life regression. It talks about how I work with clients, and you can always send me a comment or email me through the website. And you can also sign up for a session there. If you'd like to learn more about me and how I became a life coach and how I work through a lot of the trauma that I went through, check out my book, And the Lotus Opened, a memoir. You can find that book anywhere online books are sold. In particular, 8 Books, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that helps these videos get spread out in YouTube land for others to enjoy. I thank you for being here and spending time with me today. If you have questions that you'd like me to answer, please send them to padmacoach@icloud.com. I will see you back here next week. Bye-bye.